Theme 23. On the move 1. 1. Accommodation. Accommodation. Example.
When we're young, the lens of the eye is flexible and can change shape to bring images into focus, something called accommodation.
We could usher in an entirely new, empowered experience of special needs or aged care accommodation.
2. Countryside. Countryside. Example.
The once beautiful city is falling to pieces, the countryside barren, the farms abandoned.
So all of a sudden, these animals are no longer walking into market. They're being slaughtered out of sight and mind, somewhere in the countryside.
3. Ecotourism. Ecotourism. Example.
The secret is they have a ecotourism program which is absolutely brilliant.
Other ones have a focus on healthcare, tourism, engineering, and other fields. We think we're onto something.
4. Facility. Facility. Example.
At the age of 21, I was in a maximum security prison called Elmira Correctional Facility.
We worked with the Norwegian government and with the NORGEN, the Norwegian Genetic Resources Program, to design this facility.
5. Identification. Identification. Example.
For the men in these photographs, the primary cause of their wrongful conviction was mistaken identification.
At first blush, the case seemed like it was open and shut, but my research had showed that single witness identification cases are prone to error.
6. Inhabitant. Inhabitant. Example.
Experts agree that it's impossible to farm cows for every inhabitant on this planet.
But here is the same fish as an adult, a beautiful inhabitant of the Indian and Pacific Ocean's coral reefs, and one of the most popular captive fish for saltwater aquariums.
7. Itinerary. Itinerary. Example.
That is your itinerary. You will probably travel 53,000 kilometers, visit around, I think, 46 institutions, and just FYI, you might release 10 tons of CO2 emissions.
And so what we did with them is that we're discussing the data I've collected that day and talk about where we should be going next, strategy, itinerary, etc.
8. Landscape. Landscape. Example.
What does this mean then for our organisational landscape? Well, just imagine a world, for the moment, divided into two camps.
However, more than the physical stress, migrating birds are now facing a new source of hardship: landscape change.
9. Luggage. Luggage. Example.
So, if anybody here has trouble with the concept of design humility, reflect on this. It took us 5,000 years to put wheels on our luggage.
The prototype that you see here is designed to carry a single passenger and luggage.
10. Teak. Teak. Example.
Well, I think out ahead of us, a few decades, is peak gas. And beyond that, peak renewables.
They've run out of good sites, the power lines are getting overloaded, and you peak out.
11. Tourism. Tourism. Example.
Other ones have a focus on healthcare, tourism, engineering, and other fields.
And to change the game, you have to change the frame, the way we see things, to change the frame from hostility to hospitality, from terrorism to tourism.
12. Adventure. Adventure. Example.
Just great adventure.
a great adventure, and architecture is adventure. This is the Centre Georges Pompidou in Paris, long time ago.
I was going in the tunnels of Paris, on the rooftops, with my friends. Each trip was an excursion, was an adventure.
13. Driver. Driver. Example.
We line that up with data that we record from a professional driver, and the resemblance is absolutely remarkable.
So among them, I have been a shepherdess, a truck driver, a factory worker, a cleaning lady.
14. Snack. Snack. Example.
Another friend of mine posted the QR code of another pack of snack. Clicked it, bought it.
And during the break, there would be a snack, and you could choose bananas or chocolate.
15. Occupancy. Occupancy. Example.
Her vigil somewhere, I know, continues. Her occupancy, her absolute faithful attendance.
Today, 75% of the trips are single occupancy vehicles, yet 12% of trips to work are currently carpool.
16. Bank. Bank. Example.
Similarly, when a bank goes bust, so the bank cannot suffer. When the dollar loses its value, the dollar doesn't suffer.
Let me give you just one example of the former terrorist I spent time with in the West Bank.
17. Holiday. Holiday. Example.
This holiday season, people around the world will give and receive presents. You might even get a knitted sweater from an aunt.
Last year, it actually conducted the Roanoke Symphony Orchestra for the holiday concert.
18. Chart. Chart. Example.
But now I want to add something you haven't seen to this chart. This is how much of that spending in each country is private and how much is public.
And they did this by painstaking observations of numerous distant galaxies, allowing them to chart how the expansion rate has changed over time.
19. Boundary. Boundary. Example.
The first type of interaction is a divergent boundary, in which two plates move away from one another.
You can see that there's a high concentration of diversity of amphibians, reptiles, and mammals right along the political boundary.
20. Airport. Airport. Example.
And I did not bring the tools here to Long Beach. Airport security.
And it wasn't until I got to the airport check-in counter that I realized I didn't have my passport.